Hi, my name's Brittany and welcome to my homeschooling channel. I was an education assistant for 7 years and my kids are ages almost 4 and 6, so technically I just have one in kindergarten. I'm making this video to essentially sell you on why I do not believe you need to purchase a kindergarten curriculum. I know when you're first starting out, it can feel overwhelming and the pressure is immense. And even for me, someone who worked in education, when I first decided to homeschool, I was like, no, need to get a curriculum. But truly, you don't. The fear of failure, questioning if you're doing right by your child, wondering if they're gonna fall behind or miss out on some experience that seems to have integrated with society and become a part of childhood. Is schooling really a part of your childhood? I mean, we certainly spend a good chunk of it there, but I wouldn't look at my childhood and say, yes, school was where I learned the most. These are things that cross all our minds. And purchasing a curriculum, if it gives you peace of mind, there's nothing wrong with purchasing curriculum. Just because you purchase a curriculum doesn't mean you need to use it. You can pull different pieces from it. You could follow it. If it's something your child enjoys and it works for your family, by all means, like, curriculums can be great. I just feel like, especially for the kindergarten grade 1 level, there are so many free resources out there. And even the one I use, completely free, and I use it more as a guide. One of which I love, and I'll share more about that in a future video. Now, kindergarten is supposed to be play-based. It's about learning routines, especially in a school setting, exploration, and gaining that independence. Now, in a school setting, you gain that independence outside the home, apart from your parents, which is totally fine. It's healthy, I'm sure. But inside the home, you can still gain independence. You can still grow up into yourself. Even, out with your family, you can gain independence. And I'll share more about that in a future video as well. Maybe it's because I've worked in kindergarten, I'm a little more relaxed with it. I've done assessments and I'm just comfortable with it. And where I live in BC, you don't even need to register as a homeschooler until grade 1. So that really should help alleviate some of the pressure we put on ourselves. Now, I've had conversations with experienced senior kindergarten teachers and I've asked them, do you see a difference even with preschool? Like when a child comes into kindergarten, can you tell the difference? And for certain things like walking in the hallway, hanging up their backpack, yes, there is a difference. You can tell who's been schooled before. But when it comes to the education aspect of it, letter identification, there's really not much of a difference. And I know even for my own child, I probably started teaching her letter sounds, letter identification around age 4. I would go and Costco, Walmart, I'd buy like the little workbooks that you can get, or at Costco, the bigger workbooks, and I would make it our goal to finish it, and I would feel so satisfied when it was done and I could toss it and we could celebrate being finished. But truly, they get boring really quick, and if you're not interested in it, chances are your child isn't either. Kindergarten subjects like counting and letter identification, number identification, sounds, it's not something that requires a heavy curriculum. The great thing about homeschooling is you set the pace. When I look at my child, I'm not rushing her. That doesn't mean if she doesn't feel like reading that day, we just stop reading. We're putting a hold on it. No, we keep things moving along. However, I can change the subject. We can put it off until tomorrow. We can, if there's something that's not sticking, we can individualize it or change the way we approach that concept. We can pause and master something before moving on. Unlike in a classroom setting where, your child is taught something, they can't keep up, and then they're just kind of forced to scoot along with the rest of the class and potentially fall further and further behind. Many teachers do an amazing job of chunking the classroom and making it so that it hits on different learners' levels and where they're at. However, in a classroom, you still have one teacher and it's to 20 to 25 students. They cannot individualize a lesson to every individual student's plan. And I've heard in the States that some schools are now starting to individualize plans with AI. I mean, maybe that's something cool to explore. I'm not sure. I'm not huge on the AI train, but it's obviously the way of the future. So we'll see how that it plays into our homeschooling later on. I look at those workbooks I did with my kid and I wouldn't do them again. My youngest, who's 3, has never done one of those workbooks before, and he is retaining. He knows most of his letter names. He's learning the letter sounds. I shouldn't say most. He knows some letter names. He's learning some sounds. Honestly, he's never touched one of those workbooks. It's mainly from listening to what his sister and I are doing and also taking part in the games that we're playing. It is very much play-based learning, and that's what sticks, that's what they retain, and it's fun. Now, I'm obviously new to the YouTube space, but as time goes on, I will be showing more of the daily activities we do, game ideas, alternative learning, activities, and just how learning's integrated into the life we're living. I'm attempting to post a short every day with a longer video on Sundays, but we'll see if that will be obtainable because it is a lot more work than I thought it was to have a YouTube channel. So if you're interested in realistic, practical, affordable homeschooling, I would love for you to subscribe, and I'll see you next week.